Okay, let's dive in. Ever feel like you're drowning in tabs and windows?
Mhm.
Just constantly juggling things on one small screen.
Oh, absolutely. It's that feeling of needing more digital elbow room,
Right.
especially when you're trying to really learn something or piece information together.
Exactly. And that's where dual monitors come in. It's this idea of expanding your digital workspace, making everything feel, I don't know, more fluid, less chaotic.
Yeah, and it's interesting, isn't it, how a simple hardware change, just adding a screen, can actually affect how you think and work.
How so?
Well, when information is just there, consistently visible, you sort of reduce that mental load of constantly switching contexts.
Right, like remembering what was in that window you just minimized.
Precisely. It frees up mental bandwidth for the actual learning or the task at hand.
Okay, so that's the promise.
Yeah.
And in this deep dive, we're looking at exactly how to set up that kind of dual monitor or maybe even multi-monitor system. Works with a laptop or a PC.
And we're pulling our insights today from a YouTube video. It's from the channel My Big Guide. And the title is OMG, How to Set Up Dual Monitors, Multi-Monitor Setup with Laptop or PC, Windows 11.
Right, Windows 11 specifically. So our mission here is basically to pull out the key steps, the real benefits for you, the learner, and make it super clear.
Yeah, without getting lost in like super technical jargon, just the practical stuff.
Perfect. So let's talk benefits first. Why bother? The video kicks off showing something pretty fundamental.
The dragging action.
Yeah, dragging a window like a file explorer smoothly from one screen right onto the other.
And that simple visual immediately shows the power of extending your display. It's not two separate islands. It becomes one connected space, like getting a bigger desk.
They're going to digital desk, yeah.
Yeah.
And for you listening, if you're trying to learn efficiently, picture this. You've got maybe a research paper or a video tutorial on one screen,
Mm-hmm.
and your notes or maybe the software you're learning open on the other. No more frantic alt-tabbing.
It stays put. That information is just persistently there. And neurologically, that might actually help create a stronger mental map of your workspace.
Instead of reloading that mental image every time you switch windows.
Exactly, which could, potentially lead to better synthesis, better retention. It's a real boost for focused learning.
Okay, makes sense. Now, the video touches on two main modes these monitors can operate in. First one is duplicate,
Right, duplicate. Pretty self-explanatory, shows the exact same thing on both screens.
which is useful when, like, presentations.
Yeah, exactly. If you're showing something to others, maybe on a larger screen or projector, duplicate mode ensures they see what you see. Simple.
But for individual productivity, for that learning scenario we talked about, the real magic is in the extend mode.
That's the one. Extend these displays. That's what creates that single large, continuous desktop across all your screens.
And that's where you get the real estate too. Like, spread out your applications, arrange things logically for whatever you're working on.
Yeah, you tailor the space to your task. It's incredibly flexible.
Okay, so how do we actually set this up? The video shows a couple of ways. Method one involves diving into the settings,
Yep, the classic way. Right-click on your desktop background.
anywhere on the empty space.
Uh-huh. And then you choose Display Settings from that menu that pops up.
Got it. And what do we see in there?
You'll typically see these little rectangles representing your monitors, usually with numbers on them, like 1 and 2.
Okay, so it detects them automatically.
Generally, yeah. Windows is pretty good at that these days. These numbers are just how the system identifies them internally for the settings.
Right, and somewhere in those settings, we'll find the options for duplicate and extend again.
Exactly. There'll be a drop-down menu, usually labeled something like Multiple Displays, and in there you'll see Duplicate these displays.
Which we probably don't want for productivity.
Right. And then extend these displays. That's the key one for creating that big workspace.
Okay, click extend. Now, here's something I always wonder about. How does it know which monitor is which? Like physically.
Ugh, good question. When you're in extend mode, the way you move your mouse or drag windows between them depends on how Windows thinks they're arranged versus how they actually are on your desk.
So they might be mismatched initially.
They might be.
Hmm.
You might have your second monitor physically on the left, but Windows thinks it's on the right. So you'd instinctively try to drag left, but nothing happens. You'd actually have to drag right off your main screen edge.
Okay, that sounds confusing.
It can be at first, but the display settings usually let you fix that. You can typically click and drag those numbered monitor icons around in the settings window to match their actual physical placement on your desk.
Ah, so you tell Windows, no, monitor 2 is actually over here.
Precisely. You align the virtual layout with the physical one,
Hmm.
then dragging becomes totally intuitive. The video's visual of dragging that file explorer really helps illustrate this.
Makes sense. And also in display settings, there's the make this my main display option. What's that do?
That just determines which screen gets your primary stuff, like where the taskbar appears by default, where new applications tend to open first, that sort of thing.
So you choose the monitor you prefer as your home base.
Yeah, basically. You just click on the monitor icon. You want to be the main one in the settings, and then check that little box. Pretty simple.
Okay, so display settings give you quite a bit of control.
They do. It's the most comprehensive way to set things up.
But the video also showed a shortcut, right? Something quicker.
Oh, yeah, the Windows key plus P shortcut. Super handy.
Windows plus P. What happens then?
Pressing those keys together brings up this little sidebar menu, usually on the right side of your screen.
It has the same options.
Pretty much the core ones, yeah. You'll see options like PC screen only, which just uses your main laptop or single monitor.
Okay.
Then duplicate, extend, and sometimes second screen only, depending on the system.
So you can quickly switch to extend mode just using the keyboard.
Exactly. Windows plus P, click extend, done. It's great for quickly switching modes without digging through settings menus. Like if you disconnect your laptop to go to a meeting, you might hit Win plus P and choose PC screen only.
Nice. Okay, so those are the two main ways. Display settings for fine-tuning, Windows plus P for quick switching.
That covers the technical setup basics shown in the tutorial part of the video, yeah.
Right, because the video then,
Yeah,
well, it shifts gears a bit, doesn't it?
it does. After showing the dual monitor setup, it transitions into talking about other learning resources that the channel, My Big Guide, offers.
Yeah, specifically some paid computer skills courses.
That's right. They introduce a pretty comprehensive package. They mention having, I think, over 20 professional courses bundled together
And they offer it in two formats.
on a 32 GB pen drive that they ship to you, or as online courses you can access immediately.
And they listed a whole bunch of extras that come with the pen drive version especially.
Yeah, it was quite a list. Things like printable computer charts, a huge collection, like 1,800 plus PDF shortcuts for different software,
Wow.
ebooks for basics like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, computer fundamentals, even computer magazines, apparently.
Okay. Anything else?
Let's see, they mentioned a Hindi typing sticker, which is interesting, an advanced Excel course, and they made a point about some unique Excel shortcut stickers that aren't available elsewhere.
Specific aids.
Yeah, and then some physical goodies too, like a 2-in-1 OTG connector, presumably for using the pen drive with a phone or tablet,
Maybe.
a keychain with shortcuts, and even a premium mousepad, also with shortcuts printed on it.
So it's like a whole learning kit almost.
It definitely seems like they're trying to provide a very broad set of tools and resources beyond just video tutorials. They also mention lifetime validity for the courses.
Lifetime access is always appealing.
Yeah.
And free delivery in India for the pen drive.
Right, and they framed it around a limited time offer, which was running back in late January when the video was likely posted.
With a specific price point mentioned for the pen drive course. And they really emphasize the value of all those free gifts.
Standard promotional approach, yeah, making the package seem extra valuable.
And how do people find out more?
They pointed viewers to a link, either in the video description or shown on screen, and also mentioned their website, which sounded like online.pk.com.
Okay. And they explain the difference between the physical pen drive
Yeah, which takes 7-10 working days for delivery,
versus the online course option.
which gives you instant access. So catering to different preferences there.
Did they mention anything about course quality?
They briefly touched on having demos available on the website, mentioned positive student ratings, and noted that you get a certificate upon completing the online course.
Standard features for online courses, and a contact number for questions.
Yep, they provided a number too. So yeah, a pretty detailed promotion for their broader educational offerings woven into the tutorial video.
It shows how these channels often build out from free tutorials to more in-depth paid content, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's a common model, provide value upfront, then offer more comprehensive solutions.
Okay, so let's circle back to the core idea for you, the listener, the learner. Thinking about those benefits again. It really feels like having that extra screen could directly make learning smoother.
I think so. Imagine you're tackling a really complex subject, You could have, say, the main text on one screen and maybe supplementary articles or definitions open on the second.
Making connections visually side by side instead of flipping back and forth mentally.
Exactly. That simultaneous view can really help deepen understanding, help you synthesize different pieces of information more effectively. It supports a more integrated way of learning.
Or like if you're coding, right?
Yeah.
You could have the code on one screen and the documentation or a browser with Stack Overflow on the other.
Perfect example. Or writing an essay draft on one, sources and outline on the other. The possibilities are endless, really.
That moment where you just glance over for the info instead of breaking your concentration to find another window, that feels like the real win. That's the aha moment.
It absolutely is. It fundamentally changes how you interact with digital information. It fosters this smoother, less disruptive workflow.
Which is crucial for staying focused and really absorbing things.
Definitely. Anything that reduces friction in the learning process is a plus.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the main takeaways. Big benefit of dual monitors. Loads more screen space.
That
Lets you keep multiple things visible at once, which boosts multitasking and efficiency.
Especially for complex tasks or learning.
And the two main ways to set it up in Windows 11, based on the video,
Yeah,
go deep via display settings.
right. Click the desktop.
Or use that quick shortcut, Windows key plus P.
Both get you to that crucial extend these displays option.
Pretty straightforward once you know where to look.
It really is.
So here's a final thought to leave you with.
Mm-hmm.
Really think about your own workflow. Where do you feel constrained by a single screen?
Yeah. What specific tasks or learning activities could genuinely be transformed by having that extra visual space? Is it research, writing, coding, data analysis?
Pinpointing that specific need might just convince you that adding that second monitor isn't just a nice to have, but maybe the key to unlocking a whole new level of productivity and maybe even enjoyment in your learning.
It could really streamline things. Worth
Yeah.
considering, for sure.